In this episode,
So you did not have a child 3 years ago, but you had a miscarriage 3 years ago. The last loss was the thing that could have split you guys up. Does that make sense to you at all? And you're working it through now, and they're commending you for not leaving. And your husband wants to apologize for being such a pain when you guys were married. So he said, thank you for taking me back after you guys split up.
Oh, God.
Does this make sense to you at all? He couldn't tie his shoelaces without you. Is this a woman with you? Because she likes her. Are you guys a couple?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Can I just say how relieved his mother is that finally you met somebody that knows how to love you? Ever since I was little, I had a strange and uncanny ability to know things about people. But when I was 19, I was the victim of violence, and I had a really strange out-of-body experience. The worst day of my life became the best day because it left me with an ability to help others in a really deep and meaningful way. I'm able to connect and communicate and share messages from our loved ones who've passed on and are part of spirit now. And it's all about hope, healing, forgiveness, and most of all, love. I'm Colette Baron-Reid, and I'm here to share messages from spirit. Let's get going here. You have the dead alcoholic. Was that your grandfather or your father or like a whole bunch of them in a row, correct?
My dad.
And also father, his father?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. Because I see issues here around babies. Did you just have a baby too? Almost like 3 years ago? Is it three?
No, but I had a miscarriage, and the
3
baby
years
would
ago?
be due like this year. Yeah, 3 years ago too.
So you did not have a child 3 years ago, but you had a miscarriage 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or four, actually. It's more like 4
I've
years
had
ago.
4 miscarriages.
All right, so, and I'm really tuning into the legacy of your alcoholism as well, too. So it's in the family is what I'm seeing. It's also through your marriage. Your husband has had some
Issues.
issues.
Yeah.
Let's just say issues. But I want to say that that's changed, and I feel really positive towards you right now. They're very proud of you because you handled things in a way that was, you could have handled things much differently than you did. And you've had all this loss, and you still stayed. Does that make sense to you at all? Yeah. And can I tell you something? Usually I'm the person to say get out when it's so fraught, because you have a lot of baggage in there, but your bags match. And so you've come together to heal. Do you understand this? So the last loss was the thing that could have split you guys up. And you're working it through now, and they're commending you for not leaving because he's good. Yeah, he's a good guy, and he's really going to change. I think he's willing to do some work on himself because he doesn't want to lose you. And the baby thing is not as important as you think, although I am seeing another pregnancy.
Great.
So, oh, good. You want that?
I want the girl.
Okay, well, okay, good. Well, all right. I'm just saying because sometimes after 4 miscarriages, you don't want to hear that. But I am seeing a child around you. So, but I don't see you losing another child. But you almost had to lose all of these in order for your husband to wake up. Does that make sense to you at all?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
your dad wants to apologize. He wants to apologize for abandoning you. Does that make sense to you at all? Okay, so he is so sorry also for abandoning your mother. Your mother got very bitter as a result of the marriage. He needs her to know how sorry he is for what he did to her. She's never really quite got over that because she tried. There was 3 of you, is this correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because she was trying to make this universe work and make it look a certain way to the outside world too. And I think that's probably why you got into psychology, because you had such
Figure it
a
out.
festive family. Right? And your dad had a great sense of humor as well too. So he really felt that you missed out on the relationship with him, and your husband reminds you of him in many ways too. And he's helping your husband. He's helping him from the other side not be like him, because there's other qualities that he has that are not like him, and you picked a good one. It's just that you guys weren't equipped. You understand this, right? He didn't give you any equipment. Your mom didn't know. At all either, and so he's just really proud of you. And he also says too that you're going to start making some money, serious money for a change, because you keep quitting. He says that you don't finish things. You didn't finish things. Is this correct? Right? Yeah. Well, you're finally going to finish something. He's really thrilled, and he just wants to say he's commending you for that too, because he actually sees you baby on a hip and managing a new career and having a husband who really is stepping up to the plate and who listens to you now, because it's like you've been without, he's had wax in his ears, and now he's learning the communicating skills that you didn't have with your dad, and your dad loves you. Thank you.
My father's apology was nice to hear. He did apologize to me in life as well, and I told him that I forgave him. Hearing his apology for my mom, I think really hit home for me, because I just feel like he knew exactly what to say, and I'm not sure how she'll take the message, but that was really special.
Coming up, Scott's mom approves of his new love.
Is this a woman with you? Because
Yes.
she likes her. Are you guys a couple?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Can I just say how relieved his mother is that finally you met somebody that knows how to love you?
In this reading, Scott connects to his mother.
Can I ask you, gentlemen, was your father from a farming area?
My mother.
Your mother was it from a farm? Okay,
Yes.
Because I'm seeing somebody being raised on a farm, so was it away from where we are now? So a couple of hours.
Yes.
A couple hours, right? So, and she's passed now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's interesting because the alcoholism and depression that I'm picking up, I don't think came from her.
No.
It came from her father, is this correct?
That's
okay.
correct.
Because she's identifying as an adult child of an alcoholic. So this is how
accurate.
she's identifying herself. And she is apologizing to you, actually, for not allowing you to know how cared for you were and how loved you were. And is this a woman with you? Because
Yes.
she likes her. Are you guys a couple?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Can I just say how relieved his mother is that finally you met somebody that knows how to love you? Do you understand this?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
It
She's
fits.
So she's like, she said she came from a very gruff environment, and she was abused when she was a kid. And she said she doesn't know if you know this, right, but how she was raised, and because there was a lot of secrets, and they just toughed it up. She was a tough woman. Does that make sense to you at all?
A lot, yeah. She
Yeah.
was basically cast out by her mother during the Depression, raised by the grandparents, yada, yada. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, the yada yada, she wants to talk about the yada yada because
Yeah.
you were really affected by that yada yada, and it took you this long to meet her. So here's the thing. She says, don't wreck it with her because you can actually shut down a lot. I'd like to talk to your lady friend here if I could, right? So when he shuts down, it's because he doesn't know how to accept genuine love and affection. Do you understand this?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I know you're very patient with him, but your mother's taking responsibility for this. And I know this is going to be awkward and weird and embarrassing on television, right? But she loves you so much, and this is something that your mother has waited to tell you. It's her whole death, not her whole life, because she couldn't say it in life. She just didn't have the skills, and she was scared. Your mother was really scared. You understand this, right? She was very fear-based, and so if she appeared to be soft, if you will, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about soft, meaning letting her guard down. You get what I'm saying? Because she lost so much.
Yeah, very, I would call it emotionally withdrawn.
Yes.
Hard to express emotion on her part.
So she says to you, he's a lot like her sometimes, and don't let him. Also the trick with him is when he goes into his cave, you don't need to go in with sandwiches and blankets, okay? He'll come out. All right, just wait on the other side and give him the sandwich and blanket when he comes out of the cave, because he will run away further in the hole if you push. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
I do that a lot. I'm, to me, there's only 3 emotions: happy, angry, sad, right? So I'm a bit of an emotional dwarf as well, which I think is inherited.
Oh, your mother also wants you to remember something about a property?
Yeah, that's a house we keep trying to get rid of. But
You got to get rid of it. If it isn't now, by the spring of next year, I'm just repeating what I'm seeing, because she's seeing that you guys need to liquidate a house for some assets for the two of you to be a bit more relaxed. Okay? All right. And she's also saying, don't forget, did you burn down a log cabin?
No, but recently we've been cleaning up and burning a whole bunch of things.
Oh, okay. You're just burning. Okay.
Burning,
Just
random.
burning. If she's showing me fire near your
Yeah,
house, I thought it burnt your house down.
Yeah,
Okay.
close to the house and burning a bunch
Don't
of
do it so
stuff.
close to the house. Your mother's neurotic about that right now. She's very scared about you and the burning of things by your house, okay? So I'm going to end it now by saying, because I know this is what she's saying. She is so grateful, and she loves to take responsibility for the two of you being together, but that finally you know the love that she could never give you in life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe it is closure. It's kind of like, yeah, you finally said it and you meant it and you did it in an environment where everybody can hear, and that was so not you before, but maybe that's you now, and it was just the perfect moment. It was absolutely perfect.
What I find fascinating when I do readings, and I've been doing this for a long, long time, is that it's really challenged my belief system about what happens to us when we pass. I was raised with a religious idea that in fact the soul leaves the body and we end up in either heaven or hell. But now, and doing this as often as I have, I realize that in fact our consciousness, or our personalities, our consciousness, our souls, move into a different dimension of consciousness, and that we are all intrinsically connected, and that it proves that we don't die. Now, I still don't know 100% where they are, but I do know this, that they always come through to give evidence through their personalities. So they do things that only the person in front of me would know. And that's the way that they identify themselves. So for sure, this is me. So it's really interesting. And let's keep watching. And let's see if you at home are actually going to connect to somebody on the other side that might be talking to somebody here, but you think it's to do with you. And it might actually be.
Up next, Harriet receives a helping hand from her husband.
He was really sad that you are lonely. Remember how you took me back, and I didn't deserve it. And I want you to have somebody you deserve now.
In this reading, Harriet connects to her husband.
Okay, so I don't know who belongs to this yet, but I've had a Neil in my head since I woke up this morning. So would this be correct? Would this be you?
There were
two Neils? Okay, so were they both your relationships?
yeah.
Okay, in the past, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they're dead to you, but they aren't dead over there, right? Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Do we have a Sam also?
My husband's nickname was Sammy, and he
Passed.
passed.
You had a great relationship with him, because like for a number of years, you guys got along really well, and he's actually apologizing for being so grumpy towards the end, because he shows himself as a curmudgeon, and really was. Well, actually, you know what? He's saying he would like to think you got along really well, but you just made it work. Does that make sense to you at all with him? You made it work.
I tried.
Well,
I did what-
you did make it. You made it work as long as you could, because he said you guys separated for a while.
Yes.
And then you got back together. Yes. And your husband wants to apologize for being such a pain when you guys were married. So he said, "Thank you for taking me back after you guys split up."
God.
Does this make sense to you at all? He couldn't tie his shoelaces without you. He said he didn't deserve that you took him back. He said you were I'm going to quote this, a good woman, and he didn't deserve you. Yeah. He says you've gone through a health scare recently. Is this correct? Did you have to go and get something checked? Is this a thyroid thing? It's an endocrine system, he's saying.
Oh, well, that was more a year ago or so.
Well, I'm not God, okay? If it's a year, it's like, okay.
I did go to see an endocrinologist.
Endocrinologist, very specific. Am I being very specific? Right? Okay. Am I? Yeah, okay. You have to get checked again. The endocrinologist, you got to go see the endocrinologist again. It's really more about balancing. You're in very, very good health. He is not waiting for you over there. You got a long life ahead of you. And you're not seeing anybody right now because he was really sad that you are lonely, even though you actually pretend that you're good to be on your own. And we don't all need men, but he really wants you to have a companion, and you need to be open to that. Again, he wants to go back to remember how you took me back, and I didn't deserve it. And I want you to have somebody you deserve now. And he's going to bring that man to you, and he's going to, oh, that's very interesting. He's going to have a big chest, and he's a stocky guy. Isn't that interesting? And really well taken care of and younger than you. So, yep, so not too much younger, maybe just a couple years or whatever.
That's okay.
And you're going to meet him through friends, and you may even already know who he is already, because your husband said you already have, but you are so blind because of what he did to you. He says that you are blind about your own attractiveness because of how he treated you. Even though he was fun and whatever, you always questioned whether or not, you know, right? And he says, don't go over there without knowing what it feels like to really just be totally loved by somebody, because he tried his best and it wasn't good enough. Thank you for letting me do this.
My husband had some issues with addiction, but fortunately he was able to overcome them, and that's when we got back together again. Problem was he became ill with multiple myeloma. The doctors only gave him 2 years, but he lasted 9. He had a real zest for life.
Still ahead, Gail's father comes through to apologize.
He thought that that was a way to keep the family together, and he recognizes now that was the way he split all you apart.
In this reading, Gail connects to her father.
Man who I'm seeing through is looking at a woman who he left, but didn't leave, if you understand what I'm saying. So he left but didn't leave, and he saw somebody get very swollen and heavy. Is this your father?
Yes.
All right. He is apologizing to you for being so cold. Does that make sense to you at all?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
he wants to also say to you that did you want to swim and then couldn't? What does a swimming pool mean to you? Like the swimming and then couldn't, and
We always had swimming pools.
right, and then but he wouldn't let you swim, or there was something about the apologizing for the swimming pool, or did he?
He made us like we were the pool keepers. Like we had to learn young to do all the things to keep the pool
To do with
going.
the pool. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's apologizing for the pool. I don't know why would he talk about the pool. Okay,
Yeah.
so this makes sense. This is the only way. But he was very regimented. So,
Oh, yes.
so his apology is really more about him being militarily like towards you, that you were his little soldiers.
Yeah.
And he's saying that that wasn't right. That sometimes you get scared when things aren't perfect.
Yeah.
And so he's saying that you still this day have a reaction when things aren't just so, because you still hear his voice in your head.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. He
Yeah.
says erase that. He said you didn't deserve that. He just didn't know what to do with a bunch of kids because there was 4 of you. Is this correct?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he says there's 4 kids. I didn't know what to do. The only thing I could do is make you all line up and do work.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Line up and do
Yeah.
work. And he
Yeah.
thought that that was a way to keep the family together. And he recognizes now that was the way he split all you apart.
Yeah.
So he wants to acknowledge that and tell you how much he loves you and how you deserve to be loved. And he kind of likes your husband. So,
Oh, that's good. He didn't like the other one.
yeah, yeah. And I say he kind of likes this husband. He's took a while to train, is what your dad said.
Oh my God, yeah, she's still in training.
But he says he's a good guy.
Yeah,
you know,
he is a good guy.
he's a keeper, is what he's
Yeah.
saying, and he wants to keep you. So, which is also, he wants to look after you. This is the husband that you have.
Yeah.
So sometimes he just wants you to know that your husband now doesn't quite know how to get his emotions in order
Boy,
to
oh
talk.
boy, he's even over at the house, I guess. Because it's true.
So unlike a lot of other expressive men, your husband knows what to do in work. He knows how to boss people around. He knows how to say things. He knows how to talk about that, but he doesn't know how to be close. But he doesn't know how to be without you either. So he's definitely going to be a keeper.
There you go. Thanks.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's very good, right on. I wasn't expecting to hear from my dad. I was thinking maybe I might be hearing from my sister or my mom, who passed just before and after him. But it's nice to hear that he's let me be me rather than try to be him. Because I am the martyr in the family. After they passed away, I'm the one who tried to keep everybody together.
I communicate with loved ones who have passed in order to bring through their messages, because until we're willing to face our old stories, they'll continue to have power over us. Our loved ones want to make sure that we live our lives to the fullest. So until next time, I'm Colette Baron-Reid with messages from Spirit.
That one woman whose family came back multiple times with the alcoholics in the family and the miscarriages, that was very touching. I'm so glad that there's a positive outlook to what sounds like a very hard life.
It's absolutely mind-blowing. She's amazing, she's funny, she just gets it, and it's just really cool to witness.
I think just the first reading was very touching, very emotional, obviously with somebody that needed to speak to her loved ones.
For me, it would be more, like we're in a stage of uncertainty and that we need to keep being curious. So that really was a very good message for me today.
I totally believe in it. This can't just be what we have here. There's got to be something beyond, and I totally embrace and believe in it strongly.
We are spirit. We are energy. I work in a vet clinic, and so I let go of a lot of animals. I watch spirit leave. It is too big to be contained in these tiny little bodies that we are.